Great. So first and foremost, Sagittarius, I did want to go ahead and pray for your peace, protection, and prosperity, not only in your current season, but also in your future seasons to come. So I did do a quick little spread to pick up on an intuitive message from the Most High to relay to you. All right. So the spiritual guidance or spiritual message that I'm picking up on for you today, Sagittarius, has a lot to do with what it is that you are desiring on a romantic level, with partnerships, and with a connection that is going to be meaningful. All right, so Sagittarius, I am getting a huge message from the divine telling you to really pay attention to the way that you move when it comes to being in certain relationships romantically, right? And when you are choosing who to be intimate with, right? I am showing, or I'm hearing the divine say, take your time to think before you act, right? Give yourself the mental clarity that you need in order to pick a partner that is going to be valuable for you. I'm getting a strong sense of you rushing in to make connections with people, being maybe a little bit forceful about who you are and why they should choose you. All right. So because of this energy or this cycle that you are in, when it comes to choosing your relationship, right? It's putting you in more of a sense of you having to struggle and you having to face sorts of challenges when it comes to you picking a person, because it's like you're picking something that's based upon what would feel good to your ego versus what's going to be beneficial to you overall in the long run in your actual, day-to-day life, and what's going to benefit you in a more practical sense, right? So you are rushing to commit to relationships that are very meaningless, right? They haven't been developed, right? In a sense to where you guys have taken time and energy and understanding to get to know each other, right? And so you're finding yourself in this lack of direction when it comes to you actually having a fulfilled relationship, right? And so it's causing you to kind of like doubt yourself, right? Um, Doubt your ability to be able to love someone and also yourself fully, right? It's almost like a broken home type of situation where you're having to do some internal work in order to heal what's going on inside of you so you can figure out what you're going to do, as far as building new perspectives in order to create new relationships in the future. All right, you're definitely going to have to go through a period of isolation, and you're going to have to go through a period of where you are intentionally making an effort to view things from a different lens, right? So you may be used to looking at certain situations, or you may have certain standards when it comes to approaching connections in a certain way that you might have to reevaluate, right? And in the meantime, while you're working on developing this new perspective and this new way of being when it comes to building connections and relationships, you're going to have to find your balance, right? You're going to have to find the balance between working on who you want to be in order to become the version of the person that is going to attract the right type of relationship and connection for you, right? So you're going to have patience with yourself and the emotions that you're going through internally as you are, still finding your path and your way in life on a day-to-day basis. All right. So you might have a little bit of moments to where you are sad, and the divine is saying, of course, you're going to find your strength and you're going to be able to use your power to inspire yourself and also uplift others. The divine is saying you're going to have to stay in an energy of being grateful, right? You're going to have to stay grateful. You're going to have faith, and you're going to have to trust in your divine guidance. All right. And then when it's all said and done, Sagittarius, I am showing that you do have the potential to meet someone that is going to allow you to feel like you are stable and that you are able to build something with them that would be last. All right. So again, Sagittarius, you are going to have to stay grounded and just realize that your strength comes from within, right? Everything that you're able to do in your physical reality is a byproduct of you being able to mentally and emotionally put together the the pieces and the processes in order to manifest whatever it is that you're working on, right? So you are going to have to turn away from situations and connections that are full of ignorance, okay? You want to stay away from things that are not leading you to your higher self. All right, let's go ahead and go through some of these cards, Sagittarius, so I can show you where I'm picking up on this message. All right, so the first card that popped out was the Page of Swords, and this initially put me in a knowing of you being in an energy, Sagittarius, to where you are acting a little bit prematurely, right? You are acting before you've actually had enough time and enough mental clarity, right? You're acting kind of impulsive, like maybe like how a child would when they see something and they want it and then they just kind of like throw a fit in order to have it, right? And then this was kind of clarified with the next card, which was the King of Wands in reverse. So it's like acting out irrationally, right? Being very impulsive and reckless with the way you are deciding to move towards certain connections, right? And then with that being said, it's the Hermit card popping out, right? So you're having to learn this spiritual lesson by the way you're acting, right? And it's not putting you in an energy of feeling like the best, right? However, when you're in this area or in this moment of being isolated and being withdrawn for or being withdrawn from the connections that you are rushing into in the wrong ways, you're starting to pick up on some patterns that are going to help you when it comes to you being able to move forward through certain challenges. Okay, so you're picking up on, you know, your own self. You're becoming more aware of your behavior and the things that you are doing and how it's making life, you know, a bit more challenging than what it should be, and you are learning to navigate that area of yourself in your life in a more productive manner because you are extremely tired of, you know, working towards things and connections that are not beneficial for you, and you don't want to waste your time and you don't want anybody else to waste your time, and you're in an energy of not wanting to waste anybody else's time, right? You are tired of being in an unfocused state of being when it comes to the things that you want to manifest in your life, right? So right now you could be feeling like your relationship status or your connections that you are building essentially go nowhere, right? They may start off kind of interesting, but when it's all said and done, it's like these connections are lacking direction and a true purpose, right? So, with that being said, it's leaving you to feel emotionally void, right? You have all of these things that you are desiring to feel and experience on an emotional and spiritual level, and you're realizing that your current ways and behaviors are not allowing you to get to that point, right? And it's just leaving you a bit heartbroken versus, you know, being able to share the love and the joy and the compassion that you are wanting to have within these connections. All right, so the divine is saying that you are going to have to take a step back, accept things for what they are, and learn to look at life from a new lens, right? Of course, there is no true right or wrong, right? We are all just adjusting our moral compass to what is going to be beneficial to us in the long run. All right. So divine is saying really take a look back and release some old perspectives that you have about building connection so that you can try some new techniques and tactics in the future. All right. So with the Temperance card, This is the divine telling you that you are going to have to find your balance. You are going to have to mix your emotions and the things that you're doing in your reality together, right? You're going to have to. So, Sagittarius, in essence, as you are learning to find your middle path, your middle ground, as you are balancing out your inside world with your outside world, you're going to have to just really be patient with yourself, okay? As you are, finding and rediscovering new meanings for yourself. When it's all said and done, I do see you actually finding a sense of stability and finding a sense of wellness when it comes to you picking a partner and choosing someone. You're going to be able to get into an energy or a cycle of being able to identify, the right types of connections that you want to be in order to bring you a sense of happiness, not only to your home but also to your family and community as well, or the people that you share life with. Okay. So on the bottom of the deck, we did have the 7 of Cups, which is pretty much an indicator that you were having difficulties choosing like what would be best for you, right? And so with the 7 of Cups and the 7 of Wands, you kind of struggled with making decisions, right? However, by you going in this hermit, right? In this hermit, whether you wanted to or not, you withdrawing yourself from, your social circles and commitments that you were in pretty much helped you to identify your own patterns and behaviors. Now, once you did identify it, it may have caused you to be a little bit sad because it's like maybe you felt like you wasted time, you wasted energy, you wasted some of your money on these connections that went nowhere, right? However, the divine is again saying, stay strong, right? Not only do you need to stay strong, Sagittarius, but you also need to stay grounded, right? Not only do you need to stay grounded, Sagittarius, but you need to stay prayed up. That way you can avoid any sort of ignorance from the past or from anybody else. All right. So the clarifying cards that I got for you to help with this message was the Mirror, the Mask, the Phoenix, and then also the Cupid's arrow. We'll get into those in just 1 second. All right, so Sagittarius, you may have been used to being in connections where you guys were mirroring each other, right? You guys maybe shared the same inner wounds and had the same self reflection and introspection when it came to you guys being able to relate, right? However, because you guys were mirroring each other, that puts you in this energy or this state of where you guys were essentially wearing a mask, right? You were just trying to be like that person, and the person was just trying to be like you. And then there was never any true feelings that were evolved or expressed. And it was a lot of pretending and delude and gaslighting that was going on in older connections. All right. So the Cupid's arrow and then the Phoenix, right? So with the Phoenix, it's saying that you are coming into a new phase, right? You are rekindling the way you think about connections. You are renewing the way that you feel and act towards your own personal growth, right? You are changing your mind. You are rising up from ashes, right? You're becoming a new person when it comes to the way you are dealing with relationships and connections. And because of that, with the Cupid's bow, or the Cupid's arrow, it's like love will come to you. You're going to be getting maybe a surprise invitation or being unexpectedly struck by love. You are going to, of course, have to have faith when it comes to wanting to bring this in, especially being through, or especially since you've been through what you've already been through in the past. All right. On the bottom of the deck, we do have talking, right? So you could be either getting ready to come into a talking stage with someone after this healing process, I'm guessing, because that would make the most sense for you to heal and then begin a talking phase with someone where there's going to be a lots of text and calls, and you guys are going to be talking and actually sharing your interest in each other in a positive way, in a healthy manner, versus just mirroring and masking how you truly feel. All right. But when it's all said and done, Sagittarius, you are going to have to allow yourself to learn from the past in order to better yourself for the future. I hope this was helpful for you. If so, be sure to like this video, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and make sure the notification